it's all about getting you across. You can write about it, you can take pictures, but I still think that video is the most powerful way to do that.
Video works much better than any other form of communication because you're hitting emotional levels.
Motion recently has let people bring ideas to life. As soon as you bring motion to something, you can create a lot more expression. You can bring more emotion into it. It just opens up a whole new world.
I mainly watch advertisements to do with gadgets or cars.
A tech advert, like, you know.
It's very interesting to see how different brands, different organisations are using video. They're trying to attract people to a product, a brand. And what you're trying to do with the video is encourage their curiosity.
Would be a peak advert, peak milk advert, and I think it's because they used this popular ball at the time.
I don't know. I've always got one that's in my head, and it's like the one that's I think it's Evian. I don't know if it is Evian, a water one, and it's the one of the babies, and they've got big massive heads skateboarding.
The first video advertisement I remember is Milo. That stuck with me because they used a lot of kind of famous athletes. So they had like footballers.
That's my champion.
What you want to do is build strong emotional links. Think about the advert for Andrex, the toilet paper. That's not a particularly good image. You agreed? Put a puppy in it, everybody remembers it, an emotional link. Oh, how lovely puppy, yeah. That's not what it's there for. Okay, so you see the puppy running off with this roll of toilet paper. It's all very sweet, an emotional link with happiness. People are more likely to buy the brand.
I think it was just relatable, like, you know, like there was this phrase that the mom said in the advert, and I was like, Papilo, I know say one day you can make us proud.
Papilo, one day I know say you go make us proud.
Video has become so big recently, Facebook and all that. All your social media platforms, Instagram have created Instagram TV, although the portrait format, I'll never understand that. But that's what everything's going down, isn't it? And that route of being able to tell not just your story, it's your ethos, it's you.
Probably most recently watched an advertisement on social media.
I don't really have a preference, but if I had to say, I would say if it came on TV.
I think TV adverts have a very different audience. My youngsters, for example, don't watch TV. They are purely on their iPad, so adverts they see are on YouTube.
It's a drag. The platform would be a drag between YouTube and Instagram. I switch between YouTube and Instagram, and I choose both. I like both of them because I'm on them the most.
I think nowadays I use mostly Instagram or Facebook to watch adverts on, definitely.
I've always maintained with my clients, when you talk to them, people don't buy business or marketing, they actually buy people.
If you interact with them on an emotional and cognitive level, they're much more likely to see your brand everywhere, even if it's not there, which is quite amazing.
For Black Friday, actually, I brought gym clothes for like £50 for 2 products. I wouldn't buy that normally because I've seen it popping up all the time and made me buy it. If there's ads on Facebook or like on websites, then I always click on and have a look. Like I always scroll through. I see like on Instagram you get really short clips as well. I think they usually work for the best for me because I usually you can easily click on learn more. And that leads you to the actual website, so I think that works quite effective.
So people buy things on trust, so you have to build trust now, way harder than it was back 15, 20 years ago. Somebody goes to buy a fridge freezer from Curry's, they don't trust the salesperson anymore. You know, you go away, I'm not interested in you. I'm going to go online and I'm going to see what 400 people, real people that bought this fridge freezer think of it. That's the trust factor. So,
like I said before, I watch a lot of haul videos on YouTube and people shopping. If these are people I like, and I know, for example, I like their style already because I've been watching their channels for a long time. If I see them saying like, oh, winter haul, this coat keeps you extra warm and cute and this, I'm like, I trust her. Like, I trust her fashion style. Like, if she says this is trendy, then it's trending.
If you look on Amazon, for example, so if I'm going to buy something, generally speaking, for popular products, there's a video review. Somebody has done a video review, and if you look on YouTube at the moment, everything's reviews or how I did this, or videographer watches best stunts or whatever it is. It's full of that sort of thing, which shows that people are craving this human element, the real person.
What you're trying to do is appeal to unconscious bias. People don't know they have unconscious bias. They don't know they're stereotyping, but you're going to appeal to it.
I think video is effective. It has to be, otherwise it wouldn't be as popular as it is just now. There's clearly interaction, there's clearly buy-in from video. And even if you look at street advertising now, look at your bus stops, they're all becoming electrical, and there's animation on it. Video, short video, but it's still video.
So you understand the psychology, but you have to make the person feel. You do that with colour, you do that with drawing them in, you do that with making them feel good.
In the response from consumers, let's face it, a lot of people scroll, and they scroll past.
You want them to stay on the search engine as long as possible. You want to optimise that time. You don't want them bouncing out and going somewhere else.
And I think a mistake a lot of videos make is by putting the logo up first on a video, when actually you need that first, whatever it is, firework explosion, famous person, or whatever it is that you're doing. There has to be something punchy, because I'm just going to end up scrolling right past that video otherwise.
You only have about 9 seconds to get to the viewer. I think it's something like 8.46. Less than 9 seconds to get to the viewer. If you don't do it in 9 seconds, you've lost them.
My preferred duration for video advertisement is nothing longer than a minute. Online, as short as possible. My span online is very short.
They're not designed to be the same, because your audience are very different people.
Anything more than 10 seconds, I'm going to be clicking something else.
I think digital advertising has to be short, sweet, and to the point.
It has to be quick and fast and not have too much content. So a really good advert sells you the product very quickly and ties into everything you want out of it.
On TV, I don't really have much control over it, so...
TV adverts are changing as a result of digital advertising.
What we know is people have less of an attention span than they had maybe 10 years ago. Whereas I would have to, in the past, read a letter, I would have to read a newspaper, I would have to read a book. Now I can get the information incredibly quickly on the internet. I spend less time reading it, it's an immediate image and it's done. It's actually reduced our attention span.
For TV, I think for me it's funny as well, like it has to get my attention like that. If it's something just boring or like about food, unless it looks good, so I'm not interested.
You have to make them salivate even though the project is on screen.
And for Instagram, like I don't really like a lot of makeup adverts. They're all the same. They're all about like someone using a product make you sound really good, but like you can't trust obviously to pay the person to do that.
I think if you're getting better and better at using technology to encourage people to model and to do things. You have to think about ethically what you're doing.
My main expectation is that the advertisement tells me something and I find it. So it's like it needs to be truthful.
Kind of like that, like kind of something like just keep you hooked, I guess, like something that happens just like bang.
I'd expect to see the use I'd get out of it. You know, and the person in the advert, if I relate with the person wearing it, like if this person is like similar to my size, I'm like, okay, that's the jeans I should get. This person looks like me, so yeah, I should get that.
I love actually the clothing, like people on Instagram who take like 2 items or like 1 item and then they show you how to do it like 5 different ways, like different ways to style it. Then you always want to like go and look at that item and see how much it is, it's got your size and like so you can try all different ways.
Visually it's got to be attractive. It's got to have an emotional link, so you'll find almost all videos have music running behind.
I would say mostly the sites I visit, like you know these shopping sites that come, so most of the programs I watch, those are the adverts that come in, like Pretty Little Thing advert or Boohoo advert, and then they put a nice song to it, so I end up singing the song because they'll say, oh, this show is sponsored by, you know, so yeah, those adverts I watch.
Because we remember the music, we remember things on different ways and in different times in different parts of the brain. An emotional link comes from the music because it reminds us of other times in our life.
Yeah, gonna be like something funny and something like, it's not like serious advertise all the time. Like when you see advertise, you make you like you wanna get that thing exactly. That why like I wish if the advertising is going to be like that way. Some of the advertising now is like you look at it, like it's no point.
I think on things like Instagram and clothing and stuff, you just want a bit of information about like what it is and where to get it from and stuff like that, and also just different ways like to see it rather than just like this one image of the t-shirt. Like it's good to have different views of it and Yeah, stuff you like don't that. want like every aspect of a product if you're buying it,
Yeah.
because you want to know what you're actually buying. So kind of like you can make the advert look really pretty, I think, but as well as that, people want to see what it is like in real life, in a sense.
And you've got to sort of get them very quickly into all aspects. And if you want them to buy a particular thing, then it may be a central thing. They need it and you have to do it. So food's a very good example of that. We have to eat. So therefore the video has to show very quickly the value of what we're eating and everything else.
So be able to tell your story behind your business, why you created it, what drives you into it. And of course with a massive increase of sort of awareness these days, whether that's pollution or whether that's how you eat, veganism, all that sort of stuff has become really big. And I think being able to connect to your audience as a fellow whatever it is, you can do much more elegantly with video and actually get your point across in a way that I just don't think you can get any other way.
A photograph is a flat image. Now I know you do everything to make that photograph emotive, but it's a flat image. And you will lose concentration. A video is a moving image and it's constantly changing and keeping our attention. And if you look, the tone of the video goes up and down to keep you calm and make you excited to keep you calm, make you excited to keep you calm. And that is why it's so effective, because your concentration is there for a longer period of time and it's slowly getting into the unconscious.
Some of the bad adverts for me, not necessarily bad, but I think they're not very effective. Like when you advertise like people from Africa or like pets being abused or whatever, that really pisses me off. Like I don't want to watch that. I think that's quite a bad way of advertising for donations for that stuff. Just really kind of just puts me off.
I'm watching an entertainment program, my advertising me Save the Children.
And for me at the moment, my deepest concern is gambling addiction, because most of the short video adverts on television are about the joys of gambling.